Good morning, Flosstube. I'm back again so soon. We're going to title this video, Flosstube, 101.1, I guess, 101A, because it's just a follow-up to yesterday's. Today's November 4th, 2021. Yesterday, November 3rd, 2021, I made video 101. And I had some questions about one of the things that I didn't really elaborate on. I talked on and on about the Bonnie Hunter mystery in case that caught somebody's attention. But what I kind of didn't spend a lot of time on were the stockings that I showed. And there was some interest, definitely some questions. Oops. And I thought I would try to do a little something on Instagram, but that's hard to do. I don't know. I mean, to get all the explanation in that I intended. So what these are it's from a pattern. A Country Threads pattern called To All a Good Night. Country Threads is not currently a store that's open any longer, but they do have a website where they don't have this. So I don't know if it's the kind of thing. They have an active Facebook page, and you can go to their online shop, and there's a bunch of patterns, and they're all downloads. I don't know that they would or wouldn't put a pattern like this on there if there was interest, but I really can't. I didn't create this pattern, and it's still a copyrighted pattern, so I really can't go and show you like the instructions, right? But what I can do is show you more vividly what I did or how it was done, basically. So this is really my favorite, and it's the easiest one for me to just kind of interpret. The off blocks are 2.5-inch squares unfinished, 2 inches finished, as are the 9 patches, 2.5 unfinished, 2 inches finished, which I think you cut these at 1.25. I was just measuring with my ruler without going back and really looking. And so these are just made from strip sets. If you know quilting, you should know what that means. And then in order to make it so you can cut out the shape, they're put together in sort of a skewed fashion. Let me just look real quick. The pattern laid on the finished top at an unusual angle, but if you were looking at the rows done in a straight line, you can see where it's just sort of an irregular. There was a plane, a block, a plane, and there was another, at least 2 up here, and then so that's not setting triangles or anything like that, and it's just another row that's offset a little bit because your pattern is going to lay on it. So it came out this kind of wonky looking thing that got wide down towards where you would put the foot part. So that's really all it was. I made, according to their instructions, I made the top. It's not square. Like I said, it was all wonky. I have a long arm, so I put it on my long arm. You could do it on your sewing machine. This is really small. You could do easy peasy little. The lining, because I didn't want the exposed seams, I didn't quilt it to its lining at this point. Honestly, what did I quilt it to? I don't know. I'm trying to get a feel. I'm pretty sure there's a little batting in there, but really you could quilt it to just a second piece of fabric just to get the effect. I mean, obviously on the long arm it had to have some backing. I couldn't just put it straight on batting, but it's possible you could do that. And then just did a quick stippling all over it. Easy as could be. I followed instructions for making a lined stocking. The back is the same flannel as, my neutral. But honestly, you could do anything that pleased you. And again, I just used a very standard instructions for making a lined stocking. And then when you push the lining down in, when I sewed it all together, I put the loop in, and when it was all done and pushed all down in, and I did a quick little running stitch all the way around just to hold everything in place. So that's all this is about. It's really simple. I didn't have to cut up a beautiful quilt or anything like that. I can see I have a thread. And so that's the easy one, the 9 patch. This one's a bit harder because it was really it's changed directions when I made the top. Again, I just followed the directions with these little flying geese, which I didn't measure. Hang on. In case you are going to try to replicate. I don't know. These are 2-inch finished, 2x1 probably. Yep, finished flying geese. And I followed the directions. It would mean that there were some plain strips in there, and then it shifts directions. And let's see if I can make it look straight. So you can get the idea of when you make it straight, what skews it is putting the stocking pattern on it. They're really cute. They're really cute. They're really easy. I did this inside. It did it exactly the same. I'm not intending to have a teaching video because it's not a pattern I designed. It's not steps I created. So really being copyrighted, I really am not, I don't want to show you parts of the pattern or anything. But if you're interested in contacting the ladies of Country Threads, I just Googled Country Threads and I came up with, I think it's like Chicken Scratch Country Threads might be their new website, Facebook. And they have a shop. Like I said, there's tons of patterns. Try not to buy, if you're a quilter, try not to buy too many patterns. You might be able to contact them and ask them if they still have available To All a Good Night, pattern number 582, Country Thread. The copyright date is 2005. So anyway, I just wanted to show them because everybody likes to see the quilty things, and I didn't intend to gloss over it. But it makes it easier if you have questions to see them up close. And like I said, I'm not really trying to infringe on anybody's copyright, so I want to stay away from showing pattern or instructions. And then another question my friend Marlene had. She said, how many skeins of white do you think that takes? Well, I hadn't looked. It takes 10 skeins of Weeks Snowflake and 3 skeins of Icicle. I didn't pull the pattern out to see how you use them differently. But here's my question. I'm looking to see if it takes any sampler threads that are white. I kind of sort of want to just do it in DMC, and it's not really that I don't want to invest the money because this piece would be just mind-blowing. I am concerned about the variegation in my snow. You know how variegation can do that. I guess I should pull out a skein of snowflake, and see how much variegation there is. My concern is, if it's very variegated, is that when I anyway am stitching something like this, I will, you do the little part of the white, and then maybe you stitch some things, and maybe you do a little part of the white, and then, do some of the picture, and then you go back and fill in with a little bit of white. I don't want it to come out all weirdly crazy splotchy. So, anybody have any thoughts? I know I could do white DMC or what is the other one? 3865, the one that's really bright white. I need to get the other threads out to see. Maybe that bright white would be too bizarre. I don't know. There's no plan. And if I start thinking super hard, this guy will be kitted up, which is not a bad thing. I don't know. I love it. I don't like it when there's weird people. So I'm hoping that the people really stitch up looking less weird. Like I'm looking at this one. There's the one where Santa's in the sky in a sleigh, and Santa just looks weird, and that puts me off. Santa has to look a certain way for me. I don't know. It is a gorgeous piece. Because I need more gigantic pieces in my life. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm going to stitch. I'm going to stitch like it's my job. Anyway, there you go. Look at it close. If you had an old quilt, there's sacrificial quilts that are falling apart, and you can get a little bit of cutting out of it. People do things like that. Or if you have a quilt you always hated, or whatever. I don't know. I'm planning to do another project that's like this. They're not stockings, but I have some blocks I made and did not use on a border of a quilt. And so my intention was I plan to put them together and make them into something I'm not going to tell you about yet because it might be years. It might be weeks. You might see it soon. You might not. And I don't want to put it out there. Anyway, there. I think I caught you all up on the things that have happened in the last 20. No, I want to. No, there is one more. Yesterday, after I made the video in the afternoon, the cross stitch store called, and all 4 pieces I took in to be framed, which were 2 for one for each of my girls for Christmas, and 2 that I took in, July being one of them, Paula Vaughn's. She called and said they're done. So it's not like I can leave them there all the way until I finish Farms of Hawk Run Hollow. So that goal has been dashed, or it's still a goal, but there's not the same like drive, because now I'll need to go get those pictures. That was quite impressive, seeing as it's been taking a long, long time to get a hold of the molding. So that worked well. It worked well for me. I don't know if I'll take anything else in or not. Some of the things that I have done, I don't intend to invest in framing. I intend to try to FFO them myself, which sometimes takes a really long time. We'll see. So, all right, everybody, I'll see you soon. Bye.